Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, but first, let's take care of our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and his hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs, and we're going to get in some fairly comfortable days. We're going to have some rain, but it's warming up. High today 68, low 62, and we're getting into the 70s tomorrow, and for a couple days being low 70s, and those rain showers will sort of be coming and going. There's nothing like a huge front, but it's going to be interesting to watch what areas it's going to hit, but we will have some rain next couple of days. Here's what's interesting this morning's weather is the water temperature at the end of the pier. How about 54.9? Folks, I looked back on my records, it's dropped 3 degrees since last Thursday. Now that's a big drop for the water temperature, dropped 3 degrees. So that really moving some stuff around in the water. So that's just interesting to me. You may or may not like it, may not be interested in it, but that is when it boom like that. And a lot of times there's a current going through. I'm not a scientist and all, but I sort of figured it out from all these years. Let's take a look at our river readings brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. The Apalachicola Bluntstown actually at an 8.9, so right 9 foot, about to level out. Dropped out from a lot of activity last week. The Choctaw Caraville definitely level out. It's reading this morning right at a 6 foot. So both rivers sort of calmed down and sort of going to be level this week. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Great tide today. How about a low tide right now this morning at right at 6:30 and a high tide at 8:06. And like we said yesterday, strong tides all week long. The winds are becoming that sort of east-southeast from 10 to 12. All right, that's our weather. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We have a plethora of pictures sent in by all kind of folks, and there's just interesting to me how it covers the whole gamut of the outdoors here in the Florida Panhandle. We're going to start off with my nephew, Matthew Winston Chester, up here in Bristol. His birthday was this past Saturday. He said, I got my birthday buck yesterday, a big 9-point. And you remember I was up there about 2 weeks ago with a dog hunt with him, and they didn't get anything that day, but he was saving that big one for his birthday. So happy birthday, Matthew Winston Chester. He was named after me. I named my son Gregory Wayne after my brother, and they named him after me. Some family trivia there. How about Chuck Oliver? Remember last week when it was so cold? Chuck was all alone on the pier. That doesn't happen very often. It was peaceful but cold. This redfish came along the way. I was questioning my sanity for being out here. 26-inch. My third red and second slaughter, 2024, but you never know until you go. But it was cold last week. Good job, Chuck Oliver. And question your sanity, I understand. Wayne Kelly and Patty Kelly. Patty knocked down, folks, a 197-pound 9-point. That was an old deer right there to be that big. 197 pounds is really big. Good job, Patty Kelly. Check it out. That is a fine buck. Good gun there. Big old smile on the face. Good job. Okay, remember the duck hunt I didn't get to go on last Thursday. This is Braden Harris and the guys from Williamson Outfitters down in Apalachicola Bay. And a great picture there. The decoys and the ducks they were able to get. I've got a little bit of video from it, but good job. That's the one that morning I had to go judge a history fair instead of duck hunting on the Apalachicola Bay. It just don't seem fair, does it? Good job, Braden. And here's a picture of, he took some good pictures that morning. There's a sunrise, you got your decoys out, they're back in the blind. That's a beautiful bay to hunt. And then here they are in the blind, right there. Okay, the natural blind, just take those palm branches. Okay, speaking of ducks, Brad Tillman and Nancy Andrews Tillman, this is their lab. This was the first hunt. The dog was named Banks. It was a slow morning, but picked up 4 ducks. But anyways, right here. Isn't that a great picture? That was the first hunt. He said, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Good job, Brad. Brad's a good dog man. This comes from Panama City Hunting, but I know the folks here, Britton Bailey, he rattled this up now, folks. He rattled, in other words, he took the horns. If you don't know what it is, you take two horns and rattle them together. And nice sandhill buck this morning. God is great. Amen. So here we go. Good job, Britton Bailey. That is a big buck right there. Okay, moving along. There he is, hanging up in a pole barn. I always like to see these pictures because he's getting ready to skin them out and all. But I'm fascinated with pole barns. I have a couple myself. But look at up there, the installation, that spray foam installation. I don't know who did it, but it's just, people are doing this now where I've got a little bit done in one of my pole barns. It's amazing, that spray foam. So whoever it is, I know that makes it so much cooler and warmer in there. And all right, if you want to advertise the spray foam on the show, you can come in and talk about it because it's a win-win for everybody. Moving along, Mike McGraw. Okay, here we go. How many folks can claim their first fish of the year as a pompano in January on a single rod, a 7-foot rod, and 1 ounce Carolina rig? He was branded and peeled shrimp. Nothing complicated about that. It's a sunset trip. I hijacked a bit. But Amy is happy. First fishing in months would work well than holidays. Okay, now, here's a picture. There it is, Mike McGraw. And the story behind this picture, Mike has sent it to me. Here it is, Amy. All right. Now, let me tell you the story. And I want this to understand this. Mike has sent that picture to me earlier, and somehow I got it misplaced. I was going to show it back there about 2 weeks ago. And fortunately, somehow I got lost in the shuffle. But I think I've explained to you, so I get so much stuff, and I try to get 100% of things, but somehow that fell through the cracks. So wisely, he sent it to me again. So Mike, apologize for not getting it. For your first fish of 2024, that pompano is a good one to get. Okay, well, Fred Myers. Listen to this. Fred, I'll tell you the story ahead of time before we get into it. Last weekend, with all that cold weather, Fred and Carter decided almost at the last minute to drive over to Jacksonville and go red fishing in the tournament, the Power Pole National Redfish Tour. It's a tour, so you can go to different places. And here's the pictures right here. They didn't do any pre-fishing. Here's what's cool. He talks about there were 80 boats. Folks, they ended up getting 5th place out of 80 boats. That's not bad. No pre-fishing. Now, he does know some folks over there that told him where to go, which is good. But there he is. You think it was cold last Saturday? Fred and Carter Myers, good job. And like I say, last minute decision. Okay, so that takes care of a lot of pictures, but even a fisherman as much as Fred fishes all the time, and you plan, usually, especially when you tournament fish, you have a calendar and it's all planned out where you're going to go and when you're going to go. So I got tickled when I read he just at a spur of the moment. I think they decided like on a Wednesday and left on like Thursday and got over there and fished it. But 5th place out of 80 boats. That ain't bad. I'll take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Tomorrow I got a call from Robin Conyers, a teacher at Toller Elementary up there in Bristol. Invited me to come speak to the 5th graders. It's Literacy Week, and they wanted me to talk about writing a book and different things on outdoors and how to do a book and all that. So you 5th graders, we'll see who's smarter than a 5th grader tomorrow. So looking forward to going up there to Liberty County school system and speaking there with the 5th graders, okay? And speaking of the book and the heritage and all that, Mandy Miller Warren, and she'd been on the show before. And it's so good to have her. We know the family history, but she posted this the other night. It was just heartwarming. I'm going to lead into something else. But it's Miller Marine, okay? She and her sister helped their dad run it. Here's a picture. She takes a picture of this boat right here. This is called the New Beginning, and the history of the New Beginning. This is the boatyard up there at Miller Marine. So you got the understanding where we are and the importance of this boat. But I just want to read it to you because it has so much to do with our heritage here. After everyone's gone, I take my last ride around the yard to make sure all is well before shutting the gates. Tonight, the New Beginning caught my eye. If you've been around Bay County, the fishing scene, you probably know that this was my dad's first charter boat in 1979. It was called the Sonny Boy after his father. After that, he built what is now the Seminole Wind, which we fish with every year. And that's how he became a boat builder. The Sonny Boy was then sold. It became the new beginning and has been just that for many young charter captains. She said, go charter a boat this year, make it an annual family event. I couldn't be more proud of our charter boat community. We love being their boatyard. And Mike Miller, Megan Miller, and her mom, Deanna Christensen. And here's the boat. So that's the story. And so I can just picture her. Everybody's left to work and everything, and she gets on a golf cart, just sort of cruises, make sure everything's in shape, and then all of a sudden, that's my daddy built that boat. So y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm tying this into this situation here. Every year they have an appreciation cookout and dove shoot for the boat captains and the families that use their boatyard. And over the years they've invited me to go to it. And a lot of times it's been a fish fry. This past Saturday, I mean, it was like a family reunion. All the tables. We went up there, and it was so enjoyable to see everybody. Had a big fire around there. It's up at Mike has some property up there just before you get into Youngstown on the right there, and good hunting property, got fields, and they get big deer every year, a few big deer, and they have a dove shoot. And I had a great time visiting and eating. It was great food. I took my dove stuff with me, but I sort of drove out there, and there was a huge crowd. And so many of them got in the field with the kids and the spouses and all. I just said, I'm going to sit back and just let them hunt. And I enjoyed that almost as much as hunting, but it was really a fun time. But with them showing appreciation, once a year they'll do that. And that goes to show you and give you an example of how the family atmosphere in a charter boat and a fishing community, how they've had, and it's been generation after generation. And that's just cool stuff that I want to share that with you. I know you would appreciate it. Now, talking about cool stuff, I've been wanting to bring this to you, can show it. This is one of my Christmas presents, and it's 12 pieces. Carol Miller, Joel Miller, the Miller family up in Lynn Haven, very loyal viewers, gave this to me for Christmas, and I just want, it's the 12 days. It's from the Mr. Tackle Box people. It's 12 days of Christmas. So they gave you 12 lures. I won't go over all of them. You got a spinning blade here. That I'm gonna fish with that, and some jigs, hooks. Here's a diving lip. Can you see that one? Let me see. Hold it out right here. Diving lip on that one. That's a good one too. So I'm gonna fish with most of these jig head. Really all kind of cool stuff. And this right here. So what is this? And it's a lure in here, but it's got all kind of stuff that it's soaked in. So it's called a headbanger. So anyway, a very thoughtful present, and I appreciate it, Carol. You enjoy taking time to send that to me for Christmas. So that's a cool Christmas present. Now, also, 12 days of Christmas, there were all kinds of things going on. Now, also, we got to add some names. That's what we're going to do next. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we go. From Malone, here we go. The McDaniel, Don McDaniel from Malone, and Ronald McDaniel, Malone. Malone sort of always reminds me of the movie Hoosiers. They were, way back in the day, they were state champions, one of the smallest schools in the state of Florida. They were state basketball champions. They had a run there back in the 50s and 60s. It was unbelievable how strong they were. It was just like the movie Hoosiers when they went to state tournament. Okay, also from Malone, Candy Skipper and Lamar Skipper. Okay, here's Mike Shaw. Mike is, I'm writing it down, Panama City Beach. He sent us back, Mike, Panama City Beach. Okay, I told me that last night. Okay, Greg McIntosh Sneeds, Tammy McIntosh Sneeds, Eli Bowie, Panama City, Ann Newton, Callaway Heights, Roger Newton, Callaway Heights. Okay, Barbara Slay from Bonifay, and H.C. Slay from Bonifay. There are Martin Lookout folks up there, and I'm going to talk about that when we come back. Now, Norris McDaniel from Malone, a lot of folks from Malone, Patsy McDaniel, Malone, Jennifer McDaniel, a big family. Y'all have a family reunion. I bet y'all eat a lot and bring a lot of food. Jennifer McDaniel and Troy McDaniel, the McDaniel family. Appreciate all y'all watching the show up there. So that's beginning to fill it up right there. Okay, so we one of the things you do is double check if we haven't called out your name. Like I said, Gail keeps that master list, and I think we have, but every now and then something falls through the crack, like I did with Mike McGraw, and just call and double check, and we'll start. I don't know whether to do a winter sweepstakes or wait to do a spring sweepstakes. I think I'm going to do like a spring sweepstakes, and I got a lot of stuff for prizes, and we're going to start giving stuff away too. And if you have anything, maybe you want to donate to give to viewers, anything, a trip, a new truck, or something like that, you might want to let them have it. But it'll anything you want to donate, we'll give away and give you credit also. It's just something like that is just a win-win for everybody. All right, let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. How about looking at 9:17, 11:17 this morning? A good time to go. And this evening, 9:44 to 11:44. It's going to be dark, but you might be the only one on the pier, but you might do like Chuck Oliver, catch a big one. Now, we're talking about the duck hunt last Thursday morning on Apalachicola Bay. Now, to me, when I go bird hunting, half of the joy of going on hunting is watching the dogs and working with the dogs and just watching the dogs do what they love to do. We're doing it on a quail hunt, on dove shoot. I love to see them retrieve, on duck hunting, them jumping in the water. I mean, that cold water and doing it. So Braden sent a little short video. So we're going to set it up. This is a little video from last Thursday and I don't know the dog's name, but he jumps in right there. Okay, he jumped in. Okay, right there. Now he's swimming out there. This is off Braden's phone. It's cold, folks. Remember last week how cold it was? A Labrador Retriever. Now he's getting there. He saw the duck, so he's got it in his mouth. Right there. Okay, right there. So now he headed back to the boat. Okay, so anyway, he gets back in there, and it's really fascinating to watch those dogs work. And like I say, it don't matter if it's quail hunt or quail hunt. They're more of they're doing more of a pointing and then retrieving. So it's all good. I'm gonna switch back to the pictures here. Okay, one of the things we're talking about the dove shoot, and I sat there in my truck and watched them dove shoot for a little while before I came back home, and I always get a kick out of different people shooting different guns and going back to the shot pattern. I've talked about it before. I use, when I quail hunt, I'll use a 20 gauge over and under shotgun. I love it. It's just a sweet gun. I mean, it's really ideal. On duck hunts and all, I'll use a 12 gauge because of the pattern, and they're way up higher. And a quail is closer, and ducks and dove are way up there. So 12 gauge, I started thinking about the patterns and all. I just wanted to just go over a couple things with you, just let you understand about the game shot. This is the size of the shot. Like I say, right there, I use like an 8 shot. That's the size of the BB in each one. Of course, the buck shot are the big shots here, but this is basically, that came from the NRA page right there. 6 shot, I used to squirrel hunt with a 6 shot. That's back then, that's about all we had. Now here's a pattern that you want to have at about 40 yards. That's the kind of pattern you want to get right there. And that's a good pattern. And also, on the bottom left here, just different chokes on it. Going all the way down, that's okay, the top is cylinder, and then, but basically the bottom 3, improved choke, modified choke, and full choke. And this is such a great little diagram. We won't worry about the one up top, but at 5 yards, this is how they spread out. Okay, so you can see the first 15 yards are pretty close. Okay, then at 30 yards, that's about going to be the maximum spread right there for the improved cylinder. Okay, right there. And then modified is going to go up to 35 yards, but look at the full choke, and that's why you want a full choke. What it does is it just has the barrel is streamlined more down. So right there is a 40 inches at 40 yards, and that's some field and stream study they did, and I thought that's really a good one. And I sort of have a full choke on the 12 gauge, and that's why I'm right there for long reach. So, and that's some just pictures of it. Same thing. It's just opposite. Improved chokes on the bottom and goes up, just holds it together. And a lot of folks, a lot of especially young people don't understand basically what it's doing. That's the pattern you want on the left, the pattern on the right. That means a lot of the BBs have fallen down, and that's all that's left. And so a lot of duck hunters will shoot way too early when it's out, like right now. And okay, what I was added, I said, well, let's talk about this real quick. You don't shoot straight at the bird, you lead them. And this is a great example on these two right here. See the bottom right there where you're swinging the gun barrel? You shoot out in front of the bird, and that way you make contact. So many beginners see the bird and shoot right at the bird, but that's basically leading. And when you go trap shooting or clay shooting, that's the best practice you can get for doing that. Okay, so now, also, if you remember, maybe we got time to do this real quick. Governor DeSantis, remember he gave us the option to 3 months to buy the actual camping passes, state park passes, or the gold sportsman license at half price. Well, the results are in. It closed down on January the 13th. And the results are in on how well it did. Here's the page. I read this. I'm going to give y'all, in case you missed it, Governor. It was a record-breaking situation it's part of the Great Outdoors Initiative. So it went on down, and then it's like a 2-page. It talked about it. But anyway, I put all this. I summarized it for you. Okay. Basically, here's what it just said. I wrote this down on my little doodle pad. The gold sportsman license, that's lifetime fishing and hunting. It sold, during that 3-month period, they sold 75,000 of those folks. It brought in $24 million. That was a 400% increase over that time last year. 400% increase. Is that amazing? And then on the state park pass, they sold 55,000. It brought in $2.86 million for the state park system, and that was 4 times what it brought in last year. Is that, to me, what a win-win situation. So many people, one more thing too, so many people got to do it. Look at this right here. On the 75,000 gold sportsmen that were sold, 23,000 were first-time licensed. In other words, a lot of folks bought those for young people. That's obviously a lot of young people getting into it. You're talking about a win-win situation, for the state to bring in that kind of money to put back into resources, and then for us as outdoorsmen and citizens of outdoors to have a deal like that. I know a lot of y'all told me, bought that state park pass, and Walter gave Wendy that gold sportsman for one of her Christmas presents, and it was just so the rest of her, she'll always go fishing and hunting and not have to worry about a license. All right, good stuff. Got all kind of more. I hadn't finished today. We're going to finish up tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate your viewership. Do something good for someone else today. Have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors. Take care of it, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.